Hello everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back with you again today for a new video. Today's video is kind of different and unique because for the first time in over 3 months, I'm actually out and about and going to do some hunting for some movies and maybe some records as well. Of course, everybody knows with the whole pandemic situation and everything that's going on in the world, shops and all kinds of stuff has been closed forever. And things are starting to open back up across the country. In my home state of Illinois, we still have several hurdles to jump through before we can get everything open again. But like things like restaurants, in Illinois you can't eat inside, but you can eat outside. In Indiana, which is where I'm in right now, you can eat inside, with of course social distancing things going on, but restaurants are open, stores are open again. So I'm at Disc Replay right now. This is the very first store I'm going to hit up. This is my all-time favorite store. If you've been watching my videos for a while, there's all kinds of these Disc Replays around the Midwest, and I've gone to, I think, 3 of them, and I love going to these stores. You can find great deals on Blu-rays. They also have some video games in there as well. I'm not a huge gaming person when it comes to stuff that's not sports related. I love sports video games, but aside from that, if you're a video game person, this is the place to go as well. Great store, so I'm excited to be there. First time I've been here in over 3 months, like I said. I forget, it was at least 2 weeks before everything shut down was the last time that I made it over here. So I haven't been out shopping in forever. Of course, you cannot go to the movies yet. I know I just heard that in California, they're going to lift the restrictions on movie theaters. So movie theaters can open again in California on Friday. I don't know about Illinois, but from what I've heard, movie theaters aren't going to be open anyway, even though they're officially allowed to. Just because it's going to take some time to figure out how the whole process is going to work of going to the movies again, which is something that I can't wait to do. I miss it so much. But obviously there's going to have to be some social distancing things with the movie theaters as well in order for this to be safe. But I'm hoping that by July I'll be able to go to a movie, because that's when the new Christopher Nolan movie Tenet is supposed to come out. And they're dead set on releasing that thing in theaters. And I think it's supposed to be released on July 17th, I want to say. Somewhere around there. And from what I hear, movie theaters should be open by then. So, fingers crossed that I actually get to watch that movie in a theater. That would be nice. Where I live, there's not a whole lot of people, just in general. Like Terre Haute, where I'm at now, is the biggest city in like an hour's radius, and I believe Terre Haute's like 70-some thousand people, so it's decent size, but you know, it's not big. So anyway, what I was getting at with that is that the theaters are never crowded anyway where I live. So to me, it would be fine, I think, if they did like a 10-15 person limit in a theater. I don't think there would be that big of an adjustment there, but we'll see. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm excited to do it. Excited to do some hunting today. So like I said, I'm at Disc Replay. I'm going to go to the Walmart in town. There's a couple of the new releases that I would like to pick up. The Jaws 4K, I would love to pick up. Even though I already own that movie on Blu-ray. Packaging looks fantastic. I'm going to be upgrading to 4K soon in terms of my own personal setup. So I would like to pick up that 4K. And then the movie called The Hunt, which was like the very last movie to be released into theaters before the pandemic. That movie comes out. That movie looks great. I've heard great things about it. So I'd like to pick that one up as well. And then we'll see what else I find out on my adventure today. There's quite a few more people than I expected. Like right now, where I'm at right now is pretty dead. But just down the street, there's another shopping center where Best Buy is. And Best Buy, as of right now, you can still only do curbside pickup. So I'm not going to be going by Best Buy today. But that area, there's a lot of people there. So I'm going to kind of try to stay away from the areas that are really crowded. Just because I want to, you know, be safe, be smart, But there are more people than I expected. There's a Big Lots right here as well. I'm going to hit that up. And then I may try to see if I can find a record store to go through, because I haven't been in a record store either for 3 months. So I've been rambling long enough. Let's get into disc replay and see what we can find. Okay, so I picked up a few things in disc replay. I think 6 Blu-rays and 1 DVD. Gonna show those to you guys real quick. So the first thing I picked up is called The King of California. Never heard of this movie, but it came out about, I think it's now 13 years ago, 2007. Yeah. So it's got Michael Douglas and Evan Rachel Wood. Seemed like an interesting movie. Michael Douglas is kind of this really crazy guy who thinks that there's some sort of buried treasure underneath a Costco. So it sounds kind of interesting, and maybe something that I'd like to check out. So I picked that one up. I picked up Lucy, which is a sci-fi film starring Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson. Not sure how good this is, but it's all over the place. I've seen it millions of times, just never picked it up. But this is a good condition copy with a slipcover, so I went ahead and bought that one. I like sci-fi a lot, obviously. Next one I picked up is Green Mile. Believe it or not, I've never seen this movie. I know a lot of people have seen it, a lot of people love it. I think it's got a very, from what I hear, it's a very emotional film to watch, so I'm interested in checking it out. It's a Stephen King adaptation as well. I love myself some Stephen King, so figured I'd pick that one up. All of these were $4 or less, except for one of them. Next one, Star Trek Into Darkness. I'm not entirely positive if this is the second or the third of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek trilogy. I've seen the first one, but it's honestly been years. I think last time I may have watched that was when it came out. It's been a long time, but I remember watching the J.J. Abrams one as a kid. I never watched any of the old Star Trek movies or any of the old Star Trek series as a kid. I never even watched Star Wars back in the day, but today I'm a much bigger Star Wars fan than a Star Trek fan. But I still remember enjoying that J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie that came out, I think, in like 2008 or something. So if this is the second one, I'm gonna plan on watching it maybe soon. If it's the third one, I may wait for a little while till I can get the second one in as well before I watch it. But oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show you guys. This is a really cool slipcover. It's like a plasticky slipcover. Really cool. Next one that I picked up, The Town. I haven't seen this either. I don't think I've seen any of the ones that I picked up, which is kind of good because it gives me some new stuff to check out. But this is a heist movie with Ben Affleck, John Hamm, Jeremy Renner, Blake Lively. Great cast. Heard great things about this one as well. I wasn't really into this type of movie when it came out, so didn't check it out back then, so I'm interested in checking it out now. Almost to the bottom here. I picked up The Girl Who Played with Fire. This is the only one that was $6. This is in excellent condition. I picked up the Girl Who Kicked in the Hornet's Nest from Disc Replay about, I don't know now, 5 months ago. This is the second one in the Swedish Girl with a Dragon Tattoo trilogy. And the Hornet's Nest one is the third one. So now all I need to do is pick up the original Swedish Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, and then I'll have all 3 Swedish films, and I can watch them. I haven't seen them, but the American remake of The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo is one of my top 20 favorite movies of all time. So, really interested to check out the Swedish films. And this is, of course, the second one. And the last one that I picked up here, this is kind of a unique release. It's the first of this type that I have in my collection. This is a DVD, but it's not just any DVD. This is a Super Bit. So a Super Bit, I believe, was put out by Sony back in the day. And I'll read the back here. Super Bit DVDs utilize a high bit rate digital transfer process that optimizes video quality and offers both DTS and 5.1 double digital audio. So this is like a higher quality DVD. I'm sure many of you who are physical media collectors know the Super Bit name. But I didn't have any of these in my collections. This is the very first one. This is Panic Room. And the reason why I picked this up, I kind of saw it by accident. I was just running through the aisles. Not running, obviously. I was just walking through the aisles. And I just happened to glance over and I saw this. And the Super Bit thing didn't draw me at first. It's the fact that it's Panic Room. This is a David Fincher movie, and it's one of only 2 David Fincher movies that I haven't seen. The other one being The Game. And I've been wanting to do a video in which I rank David Fincher's filmography from my favorite to my least favorite, because David Fincher is one of my top 5 favorite directors of all time. So I've been wanting to do that. In order to do that, I need to watch all of his films. So I finally have Panic Room. Now, if I can just get The Game, I don't care if it's DVD or Blu-ray. These 2 movies in particular, I rarely ever see Blu-ray copies of out in the wild. So went ahead and picked this up. It's also kind of the added bonus that it's Super Bit. So that's pretty cool. So I picked up the Panic Room. Alright, so those are my disc replay pickups for today. Big Lots is right next door, so we're going to head over there next, and then I'm thinking it's time for lunch. Okay, so I picked up one thing at Big Lots. I almost thought they didn't have any Blu-rays. I was looking through the stack of DVDs, and then I turned on the side and they had Blu-rays at the end. So I picked up Terminator Genisys and the original Terminator in this little 2-pack here. It was only $5. And the main reason I got this is because I don't have the original Terminator on Blu-ray or DVD. And I've been wanting to watch T2 because I've heard it's like the greatest action film of all time. And before I watched T2, I really wanted to watch the first one. So I got this mainly for the original Terminator, but I didn't have Terminator Genisys either, so 2 movies for $5, that's $2.50 per movie. Not too bad. And I think I was looking, I saw this exact same set on eBay for like $10 or something, so pretty good deal. They had a lot of the same stuff, of course, in there. They had like 50 million copies of the Russell Crowe Noah movie. They had like 50 million copies of Anchorman, and if you didn't have certain movies, it would be good to get them there. Like they had Goodfellas in there for $5. If you didn't have Goodfellas, that'd be a good deal, but I already have it. So, you know, there was some interesting stuff in there, but anyway, I think I'm going to go buy Popeyes, get some Popeyes chicken, and then we are off to Walmart. Okay, so I was able to get one of the 2 titles that I was hoping to get in Walmart, and that was The Hunt. So this movie just came out yesterday. It stars Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. If you're not familiar with this film, from what I hear, it's really good. A very fun, unique movie that has a lot of dark humor from what I've heard, and that's right up my alley. I love dark humor, so really interested in checking this one out. Like I said, this was like the last movie that got released in theaters, and then almost immediately after it got released in theaters, the pandemic happened, and then the company that put out this film, Universal, announced that this movie was like going direct to digital because of the whole pandemic situation. So we finally got it on physical copy. I did not watch it on digital. I don't have anything really against digital, but there's nothing as good as a physical copy of something, in my opinion. So let me open this up real quick for you, since it's a new release. Show you what comes inside here if you guys decide to pick this one up. The other title that I was hoping to get was the Jaws 4K, and I didn't see any copies of that in this Walmart. Their 4K section looked very picked through. About half of the things were missing in there. So I do have one more Walmart that's closer to my house that I may hit up before I go home. So stay tuned for that. I may see if I can find that Jaws 4K. So there's the Blu-ray and the DVD. Get this little slip with the digital copy code in it, which I plan on using for myself. So anyway, The Hunt, from what I heard, is going to be good, so I guess I recommend picking it up. So that's that. Like I said, I'm going to stop at the other Walmart. If I pick up the Jaws 4K, I'll unbox that for you guys, and then we'll wrap up this video. So I'll see you guys at the next Walmart. Alright guys, so back home after a long day of media hunting, and as you may have noticed at that last Walmart, I picked up Jaws on 4K. Now I already own this on Blu-ray, as I mentioned, but this is a fantastic packaging. It's the 45th anniversary edition. It's a limited edition 4K, and ever since I watched Jaws for the first time last summer, it has become one of my favorite movies of all time. So I definitely wanted to pick this up and have this on 4K, and it's only 20 bucks. So really good deal, really inexpensive for a good movie. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this for you guys, and then we'll be done with this video. So as you can notice, this is a cool lenticular slipcover. You can kind of see, sort of. You might be able to see it a little bit better when I take the shrink wrap off. There's the back. Don't know if the camera's focused, if you want to read any of that stuff. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, the J card comes off. It's got a little bit of that sticky stuff on it. But yeah, there's the back again for the J card. Get that sticky gunk off. And there's the lenticular slipcover with no shrink wrap on it. Pretty cool. On the back, nice picture there. Somebody else mentioned this, and I agree with them. I don't know why the shark isn't here like it is on the famous poster, but, you know, whatever. Still nice artwork. It comes with the 4K itself, which has the same artwork, just no lenticular effect, and then the same back as the J card. It comes with a digital copy code. Apparently you can get a free movie with the code here on the back for Universal All Access. And then you've got the 4K and the Blu-ray. Nice artwork on both discs. Now, I actually don't own Jaws on digital because the Blu-ray I bought was used. So I finally have it on digital as well. And then you of course get the special booklet that comes with this edition of the film. flip through a couple pages here. It's got the cast and crew. This is probably my favorite Spielberg movie. I've never been a huge fan of Steven Spielberg. I've obviously seen most of his stuff, it's iconic, but most of his movies, I don't know, they just don't connect with me like they do with other people. Got a little write-up about all the characters, which is cool. Let's see if there's any other cool shots here. There's some pictures of the original storyboards for the movie, which is awesome. So yeah, nice little book to go along with the 4K. So that's Jaws on 4K. Definitely recommend picking that up, especially if you don't have it already on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray copy that was put out is a really nice edition as well. But if you don't happen to have the movie already, this is a great way to buy it, because again, you do get the Blu-ray along with it. So if you're like me and you don't have 4K yet, then you can still watch the Blu-ray. So I'm excited to watch that in 4K when I finally get my system updated and upgraded. So it was an interesting day today. Went out amongst the unwashed masses. I took the proper precautions though. Wore a mask in every place. Used hand sanitizer after every visit. So stay safe. I know stuff is opening back up. That doesn't mean that the coronavirus no longer exists. So please stay safe, be smart, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.